guys, so got a UPS delivery. What are they delivering today? It's Christmas in December. Well, I guess it is Christmas in December. So, real quick, I thought I'd just pause this video for a second. So I had posted this video to my Instagram. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it had like 8,000 views and a whole bunch of comments. People were asking me about my security camera setup. This is a direct feed of one of my security cameras. These are 4 megapixel cameras from Hikvision. It's the series ColorVu. The daytime is great, but the nighttime is exceptional. You can see we got the license plate perfect, and we once the guy gets out of the truck, I mean, you can easily see somebody's face and their facial features. I think it's important if you're going to spend money and get a security camera set up, spend enough money to make sure if you ever need it, it's actually worthwhile. But anyways, here we go. Getting something from Tremec, and I originally saw the 2 people. I'm like, oh great, they're gonna team lift it. No, they kind of just drop it out the truck. A lot of people were saying that it was going to damage the transmission. Actually, the vendor reached out to me and they were pretty confident that there's going to be no damage. The way I looked at it, yes, it was kind of plopped out the back, but I mean, if it can't take that little plop, I don't think it's going to really like 1,000 wheel horse either. So without any more being said, let's get this box open. All right. Oh, and there's the second guy. I don't know what he did up front because they already knocked on the other door, but like I said, I just thought it was funny. They had 2 people. I've never seen 2 people on the UPS truck. I thought they would have done a team lift, but nope, they don't care.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin. So, as you can probably see behind me, got some more Cobra parts. Granted, the Cobra is sleeping, but or hibernating, I should say. But it was time for the transmission for me, and I won't make this video too technical because 100% honestly, I'm not a super technical guy myself anyways, but I'll kind of talk about why I went with the T56 Magnum, kind of talk about what this transmission is, what it has for benefits, and talk a little bit about the drive shaft and the crossmember. So there's a technical blog on Tremec's website, and the most important thing to know about the T56 Magnum is it's not really a T56. In 2009, when Tremec released this transmission, they didn't want to use a new name that would make people think that the transmission was untested, when in reality it's really a TR6060 with a little bit of a different exterior case. And the TR6060 is a very robust, well-known transmission. It's used in the Vipers, the Corvettes, CTSVs, Camaros, GT500s, basically anything from I think like 2007 or 2009 and up. If it was a high performance, high power rear-wheel drive V8, it really used these internals. Now, the biggest difference if you go from from a Cobra to a ZR1 or a Viper or really anything, even the GT500s, the first thing you notice is just the effort, the level of shifting effort is just so dramatically lower. That's kind of been my biggest gripe on my Cobra is, I mean, it shifts decent. I know I can shift other cars faster than my Cobra, but it's just, it comes out of gear fine, but then going into the next gear, there's just that hesitation. And it's just, it's a robust transmission, but it's not necessarily known for its shifting prowess. And I can tell just even with no shifting handle on this, with one hand, just how easy this thing glides in and out of gears. And again, at the end of the video, I'll kind of do a screen video of their technical blog. You can see all of the vast improvements inside this compared to our T56. The speed gears, the input shaft, the synchros, everything has been pretty much redesigned, beefed up, and modified for shifting efficiencies. So I'm really excited to get this in. This thing costs $31.95. Yes, it's not necessarily cheap, but I should be able to get a lot of use out of this. Now, it's worth mentioning, these do come in 2 first gear ratios, 266, and I think it's 297. Just make sure you get the 2.66. That's what our cars come with from the factory for a first gear ratio. If you went with the 297, you're effectively making first gear shorter. So it's going to go through the gear faster. I don't know about you, but our cars already don't hook up in first gear. Making that ratio more aggressive is only going to make it even harder to spin. I mean, even harder to hook up. Make sure you get the 266. So I'm really excited to get that in. Hopefully I can get it in soon, and I'll list my T56 for sale. This is the Stifler's Crossmember. This transmission, I think it's like 1.5 inches longer than the T56. I forget the exact measurement. So the Crossmember goes in a little bit different section underneath the car. So you can either modify your factory mount and slot the bolts, and it's really not that big of a deal. But this thing's only like, I think it's like $130. Stifler's, they make some really great stuff. It's a really great quality kit, and I think it's even lighter than the factory piece, so it's really a win-win. I'm going to put that in. And the last piece is the drive shaft shop drive shaft. Now, this is a different yoke. This is already modified to basically, this is going to be a drop-in drive shaft. You can modify that on yours, and then you have to bring it to a drive shaft shop, and I think it's like 1.5 inches, have it shortened, have it rebalanced, and then it will be able to, fit in. But honestly, I think this retails at $729. When you figure the amount of work of taking the drive shaft out, bringing it to a drive shaft shop, having them cut, balance, new yoke, at the end of the day, what are you saving? Just get the new one. It makes more sense to me. So basically, I think there's only a few things we're going to have to just clearance very, very lightly on this to get it to fit. But other than that, it really is plug and play. And I'm really excited to get it in because, like I said, it's been the biggest gripe of mine is the shifting smoothness on the car. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the technical blog here in a second just to show you guys a couple of the physical, visible differences inside this transmission. And that's going to be about it.
What's up, guys? So this is right from Tremec. This is the technical blog I was talking about. There's a lot of good information here if you've never read some of this. And it's worth noting that, like I said in the past, I did consider the 6R80 for a long time. I went and looked it all up. I just kind of, like I said, had a change of philosophy lately. I'm not trying to have the fastest car on the internet. I want to be able to drive my car, enjoy the car, and row gears, And if we did the 6R80, it's just it totally changes the point of the car, and I didn't want to get away from the fact that it is 100% street car. So I'll just kind of quickly go over some of the main differences. So the TR6060 or the T56 Magnums are on the left. This is the T56. So this is the Synchro assembly, and you would say, well, the ones on the right are bigger. Well, it's actually better to have it a little bit more narrow because that leaves more space for the speed gears. So these are the speed gears themselves, and the importance here is these on the right were a one-piece. These are a two-piece. And what you get when you get a two-piece speed gears, you can actually effectively increase the width of the gear itself. As you can see here, you can increase the face width of the gears and thereby increase the torque capacity. That's the big thing. That's why this transmission is more durable. It's because certain things were made smaller where you can gain that, and other things were enlarged where you had more space, and increase the torque capacity. These are the synchronizers, again, far superior in controlling the motion between the shifts, greater durability, and improved shift feel. That's what I'm really on it. That's the biggest point for me. So there's a couple other parts we can show you here. The blocker and friction rings, again, are upgraded. And we come down here, the input shafts. Now the factory Cobra is a 10 spline. Most guys with Whipples at some point go to the 26 spline. It's worth noting the T56 Magnum already comes with the 26 spline, so you don't have to worry about that. This is the counter shaft. Again, just different designs and improvements compared from the older unit to the newer unit. We can just keep going down here. There's a lot of good stuff. I could put a link in here if you wanted to read it. I kind of just gave the real quick dumbed down version. But with that being said, like I said, I can't wait to get this transmission in. Granted, it is December now in New Hampshire. Snow is coming, actually, as soon as maybe this Saturday. I was going to hope maybe to try to get it in soon before the snow, but this might be more like an April job. So that's about it, guys. I hope you stay in touch. Don't forget, like, subscribe. I got a lot of videos coming out. Have a great day, guys.